Rewatching Better Call Saul the other day, I was struck by something this show does really effectively that we don't often see on TV. It trusts its audience to recognize visual cues to either better understand the plot or better understand characters. Maybe the best example of this is the Zafiro Añejo stopper. At the start of Season 2, Jimmy partnered with Kim on one of his schemes for the first time. She posed as Giselle, and the two of them swindled Ken for a night of free drinks. Together, they polished off an entire bottle of Zafiro Añejo, a very expensive bottle of tequila. The next day, Jimmy is surprised to find Kim has kept the stopper as a souvenir. Over the next few years, that stopper serves as a symbolic representation of Kim's darker side, the side which finally sparked a more than just friends relationship between her and Jimmy. She plays with it in Season 4 before telling Jimmy she wants to run another scam, and when she quits Davis and Maine in Season 5, she very tellingly goes back to grab it. One of the challenges of writing for film or television versus a novel is that you can't just tell us what a character is thinking, at least not without voiceover or something like that. But by attaching meaning to an object, like the tequila stopper, and trusting us to remember it from seasons earlier, the writers found a way to show us what a character is thinking. When Kim plays with the stopper while appearing deep in thought, we understand exactly what she is contemplating. When she grabs it after quitting her job in Season 5, we understand that she will be incorporating that part of herself into this next stage of her life. And that's proven when she decides they should sabotage Howard. Another example, less about character and more about plot, would be the gas cap GPS tracker. In Season 3's premiere, you'll recall Mike was being tracked and tore his car apart to discover where the tracker was hidden, in the gas cap. That episode aired in 2017, but the writers knew it would leave an impression. So much so that 3 years later, when Mike miraculously appeared to save Jimmy in Bagman, we would understand what it meant when Mike grabbed Jimmy's gas cap. That's where Mike hid his tracker, so he could follow Jimmy and ensure his safety. Just like in the Kim example, this lets the writers show us something without having to say it. We don't need to waste time on a ham-fisted line of dialogue like, "Good thing I've been tracking you on my GPS, Jimmy, right here in this gas cap." Instead, with a second or two of screen time, we understand exactly what happened. In the same episode, there are a couple of objects we recognize which do more than contribute to the plot. They carry some emotional weight. When Mike offers Jimmy a space blanket to keep warm for the night, does Jimmy reflexively turn it down because it reminds him of Chuck? And that thought gets you thinking about Jimmy and Mike's relationship. Sometimes you can see Jimmy looking for something from Mike which he never got from Chuck, a sort of partner in crime. Think of Season 3 when Mike has Jimmy check out the Los Pollos Hermanos. When Jimmy returns to the car, he's disappointed to find out that's all they'll be doing. He wants to keep helping Mike, as if Mike is the cool older brother and Jimmy just wants to be involved with whatever he's doing, no matter what it is.
So, what's our next move, huh? Are we gonna follow this guy?
I think we're done for today.
That's it?
That's it.
I mean, I cleared my morning. Well, we're not gonna do like, tail him to a new location?
He tried that with Chuck, going so far as to become a lawyer, but was ultimately rejected. So he still craves it. None of this is stated explicitly on the show, but by simply showing us a space blanket in the right context, all that emotional baggage gets brought up. Chuck's ghost continues to loom over the show thanks to its clever use of this visual cue. In the same episode, there is the second best lawyer mug, or specifically, the second best lawyer again mug, which has also been a recurring object with symbolic meaning since Season 2. It was a gift from Kim, and clearly, Jimmy has attached a lot of meaning to it. Before they push his car into a ravine, he frantically runs back to grab it. Back in Season 2, the mug would not fit in the cup holder of Jimmy's fancy new company car. It's a little on the nose, but the symbolism is clear. Jimmy does not fit at Davis and Maine. He does not fit in at a, for lack of a better word, normal job. And physically, that's represented by this clash between the mug, something he truly cares about, and the car, a superficial representation of financial success. In Season 5's Bagman, that mug takes a bullet. Up to this point, Jimmy did a decent job of keeping Kim out of the dirtiest part of his business. Sure, they ran a few schemes together, but Kim has not been anywhere near the cartel. She hasn't been anywhere near the sort of violence that Jimmy has been in close contact with. Well, now we see this mug, which symbolizes Kim's love and support for Jimmy, with a bullet hole. Worlds are colliding in a very dangerous way. It's spelled out explicitly when Mike tells Jimmy, in no uncertain terms, that Kim is in the game. And of course, in the next scene, Kim actually visits Lalo. In addition to this thematic meaning, the mug is also used, like the gas cap, to silently further the plot. In the following episode, Kim sees the mug with a bullet hole, and immediately we know that she knows something terrible happened in the desert, even though Jimmy won't admit it. So why does all this matter? Sure, it's impressive that the show finds ways to silently and efficiently communicate with us visually, but so what? I think it helps the show in a few big ways. First, realism. As human beings, we have a lot of thoughts which are never stated aloud. Or even if they are, they often sit in our heads for a while before they come out of our mouths. So how do you communicate these thoughts to the audience? In a lesser show, you have characters talk about their inner thoughts and feelings a lot more than people do in real life. Think of a soap opera, for example. But in reality, we do often associate thoughts and experiences with particular objects. Better Call Saul trusts us to pay enough attention that we'll notice those objects, the same way that characters do. As a result, it's able to communicate a lot purely through the visuals. Of course, it uses other tricks too, like the fantastic score. Think of Kim when she sees Kevin Wachtel's models of all the new Mesa Verde branches going up. The score tells us exactly what she's thinking. This is not what I wanted to accomplish with my life.
El Paso, then we're going to get up to the Pacific Northwest. Boise, Bend, Oregon.
Besides realism, these visual cues further our engagement with the show. There are plenty of shows that don't require much mental engagement. You can passively watch and rest assured that everything will be spelled out for you. That's all well and good, but when a story leaves some of its meaning unstated and is a good enough story that you want to uncover that meaning, it gets your brain working. You have to fill in the blanks yourself. As a result, paying close attention ends up being a rewarding experience. It adds more meaning to everything you see, so it encourages you to keep paying attention and keep asking questions. Why are these characters making the choices they're making? Which of their actions are right or wrong? Is there even one answer to that? When you find yourself asking those questions, you are engaging with a work of art and dealing with its underlying themes. That's what great artists who know how to communicate on the show don't tell level can get you to do. Finally, as human beings, we are visual creatures. That's why visual metaphors are so powerful. They make ideas stickier and more impactful. Think of Inception, for example. It's easy to shrug off someone saying, "Hey, how can you tell if reality is real or if you're living in a dream world?" But it's hard to forget the image of that spinning top. That sticks with you. Just like the visual of that uniquely shaped Zafiro Añejo stopper, Chuck's shiny space blankets, and the ominous visual of Kim looking through a bullet hole in the gift she gave Jimmy. By the way, although the focus of this video is on the show's use of specific objects as visual cues, there are plenty of other examples too, like Saul's finger guns at the end of Season 4. That was the climax of a shocking moment of revelation for Kim, seeing this other Saul Goodman side to Jimmy. So when Kim makes a similar gesture at the end of Season 5, we understand its significance. And now, almost 2 years later, that image has stuck with me. On a show like Breaking Bad, with the heightened violence of the cartel world, we got plenty of shocking and memorable images, like 2 planes colliding or half of Gus's face getting blown off. The equivalent in Jimmy's world is Kim throwing him a couple of finger guns, because like space blankets or a tequila stopper, the story has attached significant meaning to that gesture. Though I should point out, Breaking Bad has one of my favorite examples of subtly using a gesture to communicate something very important to the audience. In Season 4, Jesse was distancing himself from Walt and getting closer to Gus. So to manipulate Jesse, Walt had Huell lift a cigarette laced with ricin from Jesse. Then Walt poisoned Brock with a plant called Lily of the Valley, which shows symptoms similar to ricin, though less lethal. Jesse accuses Walt of having Huell steal the ricin and poisoning Brock with it, but Walt convinces him that Gus had Tyrus steal it and he was behind the poisoning. Later, Jesse learns that Brock was not poisoned with ricin, but actually Lily of the Valley, and he assumes that his ricin-laced cigarette was simply lost. Toward the end of Season 5, Jesse is waiting to be picked up by the Disappearer. He's not allowed to bring pot with him, but does anyway. So Saul has Huell use his pickpocket abilities again, this time to lift the pot. When Jesse notices it's gone, he also connects the dots and realizes Huell also took the ricin cigarette from him. Walt is the one who poisoned Brock. It's an intense scene, and I definitely felt it. But I also felt something else, because I was amazed that they were able to find a way to communicate this moment without words, in a way that felt totally organic. Not to throw the show Dexter under the bus, but I imagine in that show, this scene would have been all voiceover, like, wait a minute, it's gone. Huell must have taken it from me. And what if that's not the only thing he took? The ricin cigarette. He did steal it from me after all. It all makes sense now, and I fell right into their trap. I like Dexter, but it's just the example I think of when I think voiceover. Okay, I think we can wrap it up there. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more. The final season of Better Call Saul is just a few days away, and we are celebrating with a new video every day this week. And there's more coming after that, which you won't want to miss. With that, thank you for watching, and see you on the next One Take.